All right, let's give this a go. This is take one. Hi, everyone. It's really good to see you, or really for you to see me. I'm not used to not seeing people talking to me anymore. But we're trying something different. It's been a while since I've made any kind of like produced YouTube content, and I've kind of been craving it recently. And so I decided that I'm going to try, instead of writing out my thoughts for last month, which was April, I'm going to try to make a video. We'll see how it goes. This is that. I hope you're enjoying it already. But if you're not familiar, I've been making these blog posts on my Patreon where I talk about all of the things that happened in the previous month, like what happened, how I've been feeling about things, all of my thoughts on whatever went down inside of that month. And this time I figured I'd switch it up. I'd go for a change of pace. I'd try something new, and I'd give you a video just breaking down how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking. I'm recording this on the 9th, on the evening of May 9th, so it's a little bit late for April thoughts, but we're here. We're doing it anyway. So let me just start by saying that April was an absolutely incredible month. It felt so good. I am so energized and in love with streaming, and April just felt fantastic the whole way through for a lot of different reasons. Like, I've got a lot of things to cover in this video. I do also, in the interest of transparency, want to say that March, by every metric that I have ever measured, like that I can measure by like follower gain and sub gain and income and all of these different things, March was the best month that I've ever had streaming. And so April was tough to follow that up, but in a lot of ways it delivered. So let me start with what was very obviously the biggest thing that happened during the month of April for me, which was Gamers for Giving. If you're not familiar with Gamers for Giving, it's a 3-day LAN party event where me and a bunch of folks from the Rec Station community, which is very adjacent to the Goop Troop, there's a ton of overlap, we go to Eastern Michigan University and we hang out in their field house, in their arena where they play basketball, and we play video games and we raise money for an incredible cause, which is called Gamers Outreach Foundation. They give kids a chance at normalcy while they are experiencing long-term care in hospitals, and they do that primarily through providing video game consoles and these little go-karts, they call them, that kids can play video games on while they're in the hospital. It's a cause that's very like near and dear to my heart. I was hospitalized as a kid, and one of the things, actually the only thing that I remember about that hospitalization stay was that I got to play N64 with a girl that I had a crush on. So that stuff really matters, and it's really telling that that's the only thing that I remember about what could be a potentially traumatic stay in the hospital. But anyway, we had an incredible event. Altogether, the VoDs Channel raised $1,265.86, which is the largest amount of money that I have raised for a thing in the past, I believe. So I'm super duper geeked about that. I just wanted to raise more than I did last year, which was $1,000. So we really crushed that. Together as a team, the Rec Station raised $7,619.87, which is absolutely incredible. That is more than the last 2 years of fundraising combined by a significant margin. And of course, I would be entirely remiss if I did not mention that the entire event, the entire fundraiser, Gamers for Giving, raised $1.7 million, which is incredible. It beat the previous record by $500,000. I believe it was 1.3, just under $1.3 million. And now we're sitting at 1.7. That's going to be an incredible goal to try to beat next year, but I think that we can do it. A lot of great stuff happened at Gamers for Giving. I could not possibly recap every single moment of it because I was live the entire time, Friday night into Sunday evening, and I just had the absolute best time hanging with incredible people, doing great work for a good cause, like an exceptional event the whole way through. We played in the Marvel Rivals tournament. We played in the Fall Guys tournament, which I did terrible in this year, even though I won last year. And we also played in the League of Legends tournament, kind of on a whim. They needed one extra person, and I jumped in. And we did fine. I had fun. That's what matters, right? But leading up to that, for the month of April, we played a lot of Marvel Rivals, which has been absolutely fantastic for me, especially because it's a great counterpoint to all the Palia that I've been playing recently. So it's like one cozy, very relaxed game, one competitive kind of high stakes game. I love the dichotomy there. And even though we did get stomped in the Marvel Rivals tournament, I mean, we did win one game. We won one match. That's important, right? We did pretty well there. We did lose our other two games, and not in convincing fashion, if I'm being honest. But even though we couldn't take home the win on the day, it was such a cool experience to play competitively with some of my best friends in the world. Like, I can actually say that. It's such a hype event and for such a good cause. I would 100% give Gamers for Giving a 10 out of 10 this year. I literally am already planning for next year. I cannot wait, and I hope to see you there. Moving on, one of the other big things that happened during the month of April, I'm going to touch on really briefly here, is that Switch 2 pre-orders happened, and I and a couple of other people that I know stayed up late until like 1:30 in the morning, and I'm so stoked to say that we got the pre-order, we got the package with Mario Kart World, and I'm so incredibly hyped for it. I love Mario Kart. I think the new open world format for it is going to be really fun, and I think there's a great opportunity not just to have a lot of fun, but to make a lot of really good content. Hopefully I've got the time for that, but I'm really hoping that that can be something that becomes like a channel staple, and then we can really ride that wave of hype for the new Switch 2. The Switch 2 comes out on June 5th, which just happens to be 3 days before my wife's due date, so we'll see how the timeline works out. I don't know exactly how much streaming I'm going to be doing with a newborn, if any, but hopefully we can get some good Mario Kart World content in there. And there's also so many other games to be hyped for. Specifically, I'm really excited because they said they're coming out with Kirby Air Ride 2. That was one of my favorite GameCube games back in the day. I used to stay up at sleepovers like so late into the early hours of the morning playing Kirby Air Ride. I'm also excited and super shocked that they dropped a From Software game. Like, the people who make Dark Souls are going to release an exclusive just for the Nintendo Switch 2. I actually could not believe it. If you would have given me 100 squares to fill out a bingo card, that would not have been on there. And I'm so excited about it. I know I haven't been playing a lot of Souls-like games on stream recently, so that might be a little bit shocking to some people, but I'm just so incredibly hyped for that. We gotta give it a go. Even if it's just a one-off thing, I'm really stoked on it. And then, of course, I'm not a huge Donkey Kong fan, but that new Donkey Kong game looks fantastic. It looks like kind of a spiritual successor to Super Mario Odyssey, which I absolutely loved when I played it. So there's a lot to look forward to with the Switch 2, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. Next up on my list of April events, we had a week of streams that I owed from the subathon that happened at the end of March. Because we hit our sub goals, people got to decide what I did for a week, and it was a whole lot of fun. On tax day, we ended up playing Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, which I knew it was going to be a wild game going into it, but it ended up being like incredibly fun, incredibly well done, and definitely not what I expected at all. If you can, go back and check the VOD for that if you haven't watched it yet. What an absolutely bonkers game and so much fun. And I did it in one stream, so it's just one day of stream that you have to watch. I had so much fun. I know there are other Turnip Boy games, and I might be interested in checking those out in the future. We also revisited What the Golf, which I played very early in my streaming career, and it's such a zany, fun, like absurdist game. It's very my speed, and I had a great time revisiting that for a day. We also got out on the golf course. Well, we got out on the driving range. I didn't actually make it to the golf course because it started thunderstorming, but I did get to live stream myself hitting a few balls on the driving range before we had to head to the car because of the thunder. But that was a lot of fun, and honestly, I didn't expect to enjoy like talking to the camera in such a public place. Like, I've never done it in that public of a space before, and I'm glad that my new microphones, which I thought I had in front of me, but I apparently do not. My new lavalier microphones that connect to my phone worked perfectly for that. So maybe look forward to some more golf in the future, maybe some more IRL stuff. We'll see. We also, of course, had to do an evening of Visage, which, like, that game still absolutely terrifies me. I was just like shivering the whole time. It's been a wild ride. I thought I was done with Visage for real forever, and here we were doing it again. And honestly, it looks like we might be playing some more in the future of that as well. So if you like watching me pee my pants every 10 seconds, look out for another Visage stream if that's what you're looking for. And of course, last but certainly not least, I learned how to crochet on stream. That was the thing that people cashed in for. They all voted for a craft stream, and I've never crocheted before. I taught myself like using YouTube live on stream, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I know I keep saying maybe expect more of this in the future. I don't know if we'll do more crafting streams, but like I'm kind of interested in continuing with crochet. Who am I? Did I just say that? I was not expecting to enjoy it as much as I did, and I felt like I made some okay progress there. So who knows? Maybe I'll become a professional crocheter. You can go pro in that, right? That week of streams was absolutely wild. If we get to 300 points, I believe it is, on the point goal in any month right now, that's how I have it set up. Y'all can choose what I do for another week of stream. So if you want more of that, that's the goal you got to hit. Good luck. It's a kind of steep one, but you know, we've done it in the past. We could do it again. Maybe we get some more crocheting. Maybe we get some more in-person golf. We'll see. It's always a wild time when I let you guys decide what I get to do. Moving forward, I just want to touch on the fact that I am still playing a lot of Palia on stream, and that is not going to die down anytime soon. Actually, I'm recording this on May 9th. The new Elder Woods expansion comes out on May 13th. That is Tuesday of this upcoming week, and I have not been excited for the release of new content for a game like this in so long. I actually can't remember the last time I was so excited for the release of new content for anything. The Elder Woods expansion looks like it is so my speed. It looks cool. It looks cozy. It looks spooky in ways. It looks like it's going to expand a game that I love by a lot, and I'm really, really excited for that. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm knocking on wood that we get some, that we get a stable release, I should say. And hopefully that's also a lot of great content for us that can bridge the gap between now and the Nintendo Switch 2 release. So if you're a Palia friend, it seems like that's not dying off anytime soon. Stay tuned, because we're going to have lots of Palia content, and hopefully I get this edited up and posted before Tuesday, but if not, and we're already doing Elder Woods content, man, I'm so hopeful that it's been good. On that note, I'll also say that recently I have been streaming on TikTok at the same time as Twitch, and that's been actually really fantastic, especially for Palia content. Other games that I've played have not had nearly as good of a response, but apparently there are a lot of Palia friends on TikTok who love to see that game and apparently aren't seeing enough people stream it there. So we've made a lot of new friends, we've gotten a lot of new followers, and we've had a good amount of people who have crossed over from TikTok to Twitch, and that's really, really cool. I have not seen growth like from an external source like that in so long, and I'm really, really excited about it. It feels like things are really kicking off there. So if you are here because you saw me on TikTok, thanks for being here. I really appreciate you. Moving forward to my most recent addiction, I spent like 2 weeks being very addicted to ranked Fall Guys, to ranked beans as we've been calling it. At the end of last month, I made it all the way to Ace 5 in just 2 days of playing, which is absolutely bonkers to say. Now this week, you know, a little bit into May, I'm cheating a little bit when I'm supposed to be talking about April. I can say that we have successfully made it to Superstar rank, which is the top rank. This is the first time I've ever been top rank in any competitive video game ever, I'm pretty sure, and I'm super proud of myself. I'm stoked to say that, and I feel like I'm gonna hit a little bit of a plateau here now that I have hit like the peak. But if they release new content or they restructure how they do the ranked, which I think would be great if it was a little more competitive, honestly, you know, we might be revisiting that, and it seems like there's kind of a deep well for that. People seem to enjoy Fall Guys. I really enjoy it. Even though it makes me toxic sometimes, it's fine. It's fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're loving the beans. We're super chill. Goose faba. Goose faba. And that's been the majority of the content recently. I do want to touch on a couple of like kind of administrative things before I sign off with this video. I do want to mention that if you're interested in following me on TikTok, in the past couple of months, I have been making a lot more TikTok content, which has felt really, really good. It reminds me of when I used to make a lot of like YouTube content. And I actually split my content into 4 separate accounts. So it's not just the Goopus McGurk account. I do still have that main account, but I'm using that now to talk about Twitch and streaming and working for myself almost exclusively. And then I also made one that's more for fun, for like any fun, goofy, philosophical, silly thought that I have, or like if I don't know, want to do something off the wall or different, it goes into an account called Goop Gets Goofy. I also have one for my running content or anything else that might kind of fall into a similar field that's called Goop Gets Active. So if you like keeping up with my my half marathon training progress, which spoiler alert, we did the half marathon. It was fantastic. But if you like keeping up with that kind of stuff, Goop Gets Active is the account for that. And then finally, I have a channel that is made exclusively for clips from my Twitch. Hopefully, it leads to some folks coming on over to Twitch because they see that there's good content going on there. But that one's just called Goopus McGurk Clips. That one existed in the past, but I never really like pushed it very much. So if you're interested in any of those different kinds of content, which go a little bit further than anything that I do on Twitch, make sure to follow those. I'll leave links to those down in the description as well for you. And again, thank you for following me in more than one place. If you're seeing this, it means that you're probably subscribed to me on YouTube, or at least you're interested in YouTube content a little bit. And I really thank you for being here and for being on all of my social medias. And speaking of YouTube, I just want to make another clerical administrative note here that I had tried for the months of March and April moving my VoDs over, my videos on demand from Twitch, over to my main channel just to see if they would like get more traction or if people liked it more or whatever. They did kind of, but nothing noticeable. And since I want to make more specifically YouTube content on this channel, I'm moving my VoDs back over to my VoD channel. It's called Goopus McGurk VoDs and Shorts, I believe. I will leave a link to that in the description, and it's also very likely that I'm getting the name of my own backup YouTube channel wrong right now. So if you want to see the full archive of Goopus McGurk content, that's the channel to subscribe to as well, and I appreciate you doing so. And finally, if I can just touch on some things from my personal life, I'd just like to say that we are getting wildly close to my wife having our second child, which I am really, really excited for. I'm also nervous about for a lot of reasons. One, I just don't know what the future is going to hold. Two, I do know that the future is going to hold a lot less sleep for me. And, you know, I almost forgot how that was with my first kid. So I'm a little bit nervous to get back into those trenches. With that said, I really could not be more excited for baby Truck, as we've been calling him. We got some ultrasounds done the other day, and he just looks absolutely adorable. We cannot wait to meet him. We would like him to cook just a little bit longer, but he's got some real chubby cheeks that are real hard to not think about. So we're excited to meet him. It also means that like content around here might change. It might be more YouTube. I don't know. Maybe I make some more vlog style stuff talking to the camera like this. It might be less of that and more just like streaming whenever I can. It might be not a lot of content. I don't know. But please bear with me. It's all for a very, very good reason. We're very excited. We're nervous. We have a lot to do to prepare still. But it really could be just like any day now, which is absolutely wild to say. I also want to say thank you to anybody who supported me through my half marathon training journey. Running a half marathon last weekend was one of the coolest things that I've ever done in my entire life. And I feel so grateful that I have so many cool people who supported me through that, who checked in on me, who asked how things are going, who made jokes at my expense about my running. We get it. You run, I understand. But it was really, you know, all jokes aside, one of the coolest things that I've ever done. And I'm so grateful that like I have people on the internet who care about me more than just like putting out gaming content and who would want to like check in on me for something cool that I'm doing just for me, essentially. So thank you for that. If you're one of those people, I could not be more grateful for you. I seriously mean that. It means way more than I think I could ever accurately express through words right now. So love you guys. I appreciate it so much. And on that note, I think I'm just going to wrap up and say it has been a long year already. Thank you for joining me as I share some thoughts about the month of April and a little bit into May. And thank you for sitting through a YouTube video where I just talk about things. For those of you who don't know, when I was in like early college, I made a lot of YouTube content. It's all been taken down since then because like I was nervous about job interviewers seeing it. But there was a while there where I made like one video a week and I did like vlog style stuff where I just shared my thoughts and stuff like this. So this is very like nostalgic for me, and I'm very grateful that anyone would sit down and watch it. I know that all I've done this whole video is thank people for various things, but thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring. Thank you for caring for each other and this community. And if you're new here, or if this is your first time seeing me, welcome. We're really, really glad to have you. We hope that you engage with the Goop Troop community a little bit more. This is the most incredible place on the internet that I have ever experienced, and I'm so glad you're here, both here and here. That was a really cheesy, corny way to end a video, but it feels right, so that's where I'm going to end it. I will see you guys in the next one, whenever that is. I really have no idea. but I'm really excited for it. So thank you for being here. I'll catch you in the next one. In the meantime, please do me the biggest of favors. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to each other. I love you guys so much. Have a great one. I don't know if any of that made any sense or if it was worth anything, but we'll see what happens.